Hello, you beautiful humans. The time feels right to come back and make a new video and see where everyone's at and how everyone's doing. And it feels like a lifetime has been lived from my last video, which ironically, I just remembered I was also in the Range Rover. So life is good. I have been in the flow more than I've ever been in the flow in my entire life, which has led to more movement than I've ever had in my entire life, which is more on the go. In this case, there's been lots of moments of stillness and peace, and it has led to, a very fast current that feels very good. And stepping into the flow, which I'm sure many of you are doing and embodying, has moments of such clarity and peace and satisfaction that life just brings more and more of that. You continue on that path, and then the things that are out of alignment that come up, should they come up, feel like almost like you're whitewater rafting going over the rapids, like, oh my gosh. And I feel like the more you're in flow, the higher class of rapids you get, just because when you're in a slow flow and you go down a little waterfall, it's smoother. And when you get to the big rapids, it's if you've never done it, it's quite extraordinary. And there's moments of like that fun, terrifying, and you're holding on and white knuckling. And no, I don't recommend holding on and white knuckling while you're in flow. You just kind of let it go and see as it comes up. And the more experienced you are with the rapids coming up in life, the more you can see, oh, I've been through this. This is a surrender moment. This is just showing me something, instead of feeding into the storyline, which is so easy to do. And depending on where you are and how you're playing, there's nothing wrong with feeding into storylines and playing the game that way, because life is fun. So it all depends what your goal is and what your masterpiece is and what you're doing. And if your goal is a fast current of flow and riding the rapids without letting them panic you, at this point, this part will make sense, is you've been through it, you've seen it, you understand that as you're flowing, this too shall pass. You kind of have the higher vantage point to be able to see ahead just past it and know that you're going to pass it and it's going to be fun, and that you don't attach the story to it, that this rapid is whatever. You just see it for what it is and you let your body experience it. And there's like a couple different points of awareness. Some of them are, oh, I know where this came from. This is just part of that story and you're still in it a little bit. Or some of it is, some people will say like the universe is, they're being tested, and it's not necessarily, in my like experience or opinion, like a test. It's like turning on a hose. Like you turn on the garden hose and sometimes like a little bit of old water that was in there comes out. And with your, I made a joke the other day, when you're in a fast current, it's like a fire hose. It's like you turn it and like a lot comes out, but you're seeing it as, oh, this is incoherent with how I'm living, and you're not threatened by it. You're not overwhelmed by it. You just see, I'm in such clarity that that's why this rapid seems so big, because the flow is so fast that I can identify this clearly, that this doesn't fit. And so you don't have the same resistance or pushing or judging or shaming or blaming or identifying or attaching a story. You just see it as, this is residual. It's not necessarily like a test. I'm being tested. It's, you've had thoughts, you've practiced a vibration, you've experienced things in your life as a result of that. And this is an old manifestation, an old prayer. This is old energy that still exists. Oh, and I can see it, and just you lovingly let it go, which is your way of telling God, source, the universe, oh, that's not her anymore. That's not them anymore. That's not what they're experiencing. You're not putting energy into it where your thoughts go, your energy flows. You're just seeing it and letting it go. So it's already gone. How fast are you in a rapid? You hit it, you're like, whoa, and then you're through it. So it's like you experience it and you're already through it. So you have the vantage point of seeing it should it come up, and you're already on the other side of it. You're not even giving it energy. Whereas earlier points in the game, think about like you're a beginner, this is your first time whitewater rafting, and you jump in and you don't have your guides there, you don't have your friends there, you're not feeling secure and safe, and you're in a fast flow. That rapid is going to be, you know, something that you attach a lot of stories to, rightfully so. So it's all about vantage points and perspectives and the flow that you're in and what you're allowing, and how much of this game of life you're looking around and seeing that you are that which you judge, that the world is one big mirror, and we need to grab our shadows when we see them and give them that big fat grateful kiss for letting us see them, because what you see in them is you. That's why we love our neighbor, because it is ourself. And when you have that self-love and that peace and that joy for your day, it radiates to everyone around you, and it changes everything about your experience. So when you hit this flow, and there's no like flow is right and everything else is wrong. No, there's the experience of life and it's full, and there's light and there's shadows, and the shadows are just, you can't have one without the other. It's all God. It's all divine. It's all to be lived. And when we hit our shadows, we don't push them against them or shame them. We bless them and we hug them and we reintegrate them. And that's the way through it in a really amazing way. And we all have shadows, all of us. There's nobody who's all in the light. And that's part of it, is realizing that it's all you and allowing it to be and growing from it, and really high level putting your focus where you want to put it. Because when you are focusing, you are calling more of that in. So when you live a life looking at reality and then basing your life based on what you've seen around you, what you see is almost old by the time you see it, because you've already lived it and experienced it vibrationally. You've felt it, you've had the emotions, you've had the thoughts, you've connected with your, your soul, your higher self, God. You've seen the visions of the good that's coming for you. And when you can try to work and do it yourself, or you can surrender and enjoy this beautiful life that you're dropped into, which means enjoying driving, enjoying taking the bus if that's what you're doing, enjoying walking, enjoying biking around central London, maybe, depending on where you live. Let's just be oddly specific for no reason. But you appreciate, you notice the sun through the leaves, you notice the breeze, you notice the fact that you're doing dishes. Perhaps I had this thought the other day that, oh my gosh, when I was a kid, I would watch like the adults doing the dishes and having their family, and I would think about having a family and having a life, and here I am doing the dishes, and I can sit here and be disgruntled about dirty dishes or think thoughts, or I can be fully present in this moment, that this is something I created. This is a moment that I imagined, and here I am living it. The family has been fed and I'm cleaning up our dishes. I love a clean sink. Like, this is why we are here. This is why we incarnate. This is why we're alive. I'm alive right now doing these dishes, and the present moment just becomes delicious. And you see birds and you just marvel and you find that awe and that wonder. And I don't even remember where I was going with this, because it's just in this delicious present moment, I'm just enjoying it fully. The fact that there are people on the other side of this that are resonating and connecting, and it's a really beautiful thing. So you get to play the game and find those moments, or you get to white knuckle and try to do it yourself. But for me, the point of this video is talking to a specific part of the population and a specific frequency that knows what I'm talking about and feels it and experiences it and wants to play this particular way, where you're used for so much more, and you're surrendering and you're allowing things to pass. You're not stopping your raft and building a dam to avoid the rapid. You're like, all right, I'm here for all of it. If I've chosen to be here, this is my life, I've come for this, and that's in my path, I've created it, it's for me, it's here it is, I'm going to enjoy it. And you just like, actually, when you're right after, your hands aren't really up, you're kind of like bracing, holding on to enjoy it. But let's say you're like, like in a good way, you're just enjoying the ride, and you're not so set on the outcome. Earlier, there's points where it's like you want to manifest and you want to create, and there's a point where you realize like, oh my goodness, I'm not dreaming that and creating that, I'm receiving that, and I'm being shown a glimpse of where I'm going. And I don't need to force it or do anything. I need to enjoy my life and enjoy what's here and know that that's what's coming and move towards that. And you stop doing and you start being, what I was describing before, in the moment, in the enjoyment of this, not making this wrong with your mind attached to the past and bringing that problem, reloading it, or not being here and thinking about, I want this, but there's this gap, and then focusing on the gap because what you put your energy into continues. So if you're not there yet, you will always be not there yet. So you can align with that vision and feel it and know it, that that's where you're going in peace. And then you surrender and enjoy the heck out of exactly where you are right now. And when you let go of that attachment to the outcome, that attachment to that image being here right now, which makes this moment wrong somehow because this isn't that, you let go of all suffering. Truly. Because there are no, Eckhart Tolle says it, and I like feel it. There are no problems in the present moment. There's no problem really ever, unless you have been human, which we are, and you've attached knowing and beliefs, which are your specific perspective, but it's all God. You have your specific perspective. And in that perspective, in your knowings, in your beliefs, you have something that's, unique to you or bigger in the world. But when you can become into the present moment and take that knowing and just leave it at the door for a minute, you could pick it back up if you want it, but just be there for a second in the present moment, absent of judgment. Any judgments that come up, you just set them down for a minute. Just set it all down. And you can be in that moment and feel your heartbeat, your breath, the aliveness in you, the beingness, the source coming through. It's like the player in the video game just standing there breathing. There's no need to get anywhere. There's no need to go into the past. There's no need for anything to be different. You accept what is present as it is, with no labeling, no judgment, just this present moment. It is what it is, and I'm fully here for it, fully present. That resets the game. That resets your experience in that moment. And I mean, there's momentum and there's things ongoing. So that's from that moment of peace. You may have the water hose turned on and see something cross your path, and you just, from that awareness of the peace, you just gotta smile at it, and you don't let it get your goat. Your goat's in the backyard, grazing, stoked on life, in the sunshine. I don't have to hold the sun and make sure it shines. I don't have to get the grass to grow. I just let nature do its thing. And I'm just, frolicking, enjoying life. But you don't leave yourself so caught up in the player of the game, so caught up in that perspective, because that's part of it. That's the fun. That's a great place to be. For a while, I was like so into this perspective of this world that I'm living, and you kind of have your blinders on and you don't realize that every single person is in their own world of their own perspective and their own beliefs, living their own life. There's not one universal world. There are billions of them, and we each have our own slice of it. So when you kind of back up from that into it, and you can breathe and find that peace, that's the surrender. That's the moment that you enjoy the raft, and you are seeing the rapids as part of it, and you're blessing the past rapids that you've been on because they led to this knowing and clarity. You've attracted every single perfect thing to be in this moment right now, enjoying this vantage point and this part of life. And then you stop taking yourself so seriously, and you realize, wow, what if I aim to enjoy myself? What if I aim to find joy in every moment? What would that look like? Am I allowed to do that? Yes, you're allowed to do that. You don't need permission. It's your choice how you see this present moment and what you label it as. And when you do that exercise we just practiced, and you let it all go for a minute, you could pick it all back up. It's your choice. But you let it all go and you just show up with presence, everything reorganizes. And from there, it becomes easy to surrender and allow the flow to take you where it takes you. And you place your focus on what brings you joy and what feels good. And those are moments where you are fully aware you're in alignment with source. God is like beaming on you, and you are receiving it and feeling it, and you feel that joy, that confirmation that yes, okay, you're in alignment, you're moving the way you're meant to be moving, because we have free will. We can, walk our character into that wall and just right into the wall, not going anywhere, upstream, as Abraham calls it, upstream. You have your raft pointed and you are paddling ferociously, determined to do it yourself, and you realize that it's not you. It never was you. It's not you that's saving yourself. It's not you that was necessarily causing the problems. When you get that, you get that. And when you don't, it makes no sense. So if that makes no sense, just table it for another day. Just set it down. And if it makes sense, you get it. That you are allowing yourself to experience the fullness of this game as it is, without overly attaching to anything and needing it to be a certain way. And when you do that, your life becomes better than it ever has. More blessings come to you. Miracles become part of life. You literally live a life of miracles and blessings and incredible relationships, incredible things that you never even thought you could do, because you're absent of limitation, because you're in the flow of source, and source, God, has no limitations. The source of it all, there's no limitation. This is a game of imagination. How good can this life get? How much fun can I have? And when you back into that present moment and you reopen your eyes from the vantage point of how much fun can I have? What can I do right now that feels really good? You become your best self, your absolute best self. And that radiates to every other person in your experience in a contagious way. It is one of the most beautiful things you can do for humanity, is start right there with you. Because when you're your best self, when you're having fun, when you're laughing, when you're dancing and turning on music and sharing with people and enjoying doing the dishes, whatever you're doing, it radiates to everyone in a really contagious, beautiful way. And that is a life worth living, in my opinion. That is a well-lived life. And it's something that you can't take credit for. Like this book, my book is almost done. It took a year. I thought it was going to take a couple months, but it took what it needed for me to process what was in it and become the version of me that I am right now for that book. So everything is perfect timing. I can't wait. And it's It's just another beautiful part of it. And it's not something that the ego, there's nothing wrong with the ego. There's nothing that the ego takes credit for, because it's not me doing it. It came through me. Everything is for you. When you stop trying to do it and be it and claim it, you just make the switch and you laugh and you let go and you realize it was never me. I was just taking credit for it, thinking that that's what we do based on like looking around in life. But it's all for you if you can surrender and allow it and find it. So that is my beautiful rambling of what this experience has been like for me lately. Life has been my best life yet. And that is a really beautiful thing to feel. And every single one of you gets to feel that way right now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to do anything. Right now, drop your attachment, drop your knowing, drop your labels, drop your problems. You don't need to carry them into the present. They're not here right now. Look around. Right now, take that deep breath and feel it. That vision that you've been running towards, it's here. You are that person. It's only you that says you're not. I'm not there yet. I'll be ready when I have to do this or I have to do that. It has to be different. You have your attachment to the way it has to go. But when you drop that, you realize that you're there, you're done. You're it. And it all becomes incredibly simple, incredibly slowed down, and incredibly beautiful. So you deserve it, every single one of you. And now go get that beautiful day.